Cameras have to be on, no matter what. Fine by me, don't mind the pump. I am a project manager and data scientist. I manage lots of different public health related projects. There is one project in particular that includes a really demanding team from a federal government department. I recently returned back to work from maternity leave. I work in my office 3 days a week. On those days, I have to pump breast milk at regular intervals for my baby. Luckily, I have my own private office and can usually just keep on working. Emails, reports, etc. While I pump. I have a hands-free, wearable pump which is convenient, but still definitely obvious if I am wearing it. It pokes out about my shirt and is not exactly silent. Recently we have a Zoom call scheduled during one of the times I needed to pump. Instead of missing the meeting, I figured I would just keep my camera off so I could wear my pump and still participate and listen. Heck, I was even in my office and not working from home. I felt like I was being a pretty committed employee. Meeting starts. A few people have their cameras off. The lead makes the announcement. I just want to remind everyone that our expectation is that you will have your cameras on because this is not a virtual meeting. It is a simulated in-person meeting. Whatever that means. I sent a quick private message to explain I was paying attention. But pumping. No response to me. Just instead. Again. The expectation is that all cameras will be on. So fine. I turn my camera on for this meeting of about 20 people. The camera isn't aimed at my chest, but certainly the top of my pump is clearly visible. I unmuted myself, so you could also clearly hear the pump, and just said, "Thank you for your patience." I was adjusting my breast pump. The meeting continued awkwardly, with several other team managers letting me know privately it was fine to turn my camera off. But at that point, there really was no point in turning it off. At the most recent meeting, the announcement was, "Please turn on your cameras if you are comfortable doing so." This is not a virtual meeting. It is a simulated in-person meeting. My head hurts trying to figure this out. Please turn on your cameras if you are comfortable doing so. Congrats op. You did that for everyone. Funny and sad how you have to shame people to make a point. Glad you were able to retain your dignity while making a point. Kudos and congratulations. Brilliant. Also, depending on where you are located, some states require that you be given a break from work so that you may pump. The fact you were working during your pump break could also have gotten someone somewhere in trouble. Added to that, you are required to be given a private space to pump. By forcing you to turn on your camera, they are violating that privacy. And this was all done by a federal government department. Interesting. Edit. I was informed it is a federal law and not state laws. Which makes the fact it's a department for federal government that much more interesting. Please turn on your cameras if you are comfortable doing so. Sounds like a perfect opportunity for a repeat performance. Since you are apparently comfortable enough. Just to see what the next wording change would be. Make them more uncomfortable. Turn up your mic and bring closer to the pump and aim camera lower down. Simulated live, so your boss is just calling virtual another name. I would say you got them embarrassingly good. I never understood the camera must be on policies. If my camera view will be distracting to the meeting, then I leave my camera off. As when I join a meeting on my phone while out walking and such. I've actually been in a meeting while trekking in the mountains, and except for a quick showing of the views on request, my camera was off all of the meeting. Where I work, we usually leave the cameras off, especially in large meetings. When I used to be in Teams meetings, I would turn on my camera if either 1. I was speaking more than a few words, 2. I felt that it would be helpful to other participants. On the occasions that I was told my camera must be on when I did not feel that I wanted it to be, I complied with the demands by one of switch from the external webcam on top of my monitor to the internal camera of my closed laptop, point the camera at my tea mug, point the camera out of the window, swap to an old low-resolution camera with manual focus which I adjusted to well out of focus, change the camera input to a still image taken at the start of the meeting. When my cat decided to join me on the desk, pointed at her instead. And the one that really freaked people out, half closed the privacy cover on the camera so that it showed me from the neck down, but my head disappeared into the virtual background. Combinations of these could be used for additional effects. Simulated live, to me, sounds like you record a video of yourself looking at the screen. Your eyes dart around as emails and notifications pop up, doing the whole paying attention thing. Then set it as your virtual background. Join the meeting with the camera covered and it looks like you are there paying attention. Works best if you are wearing a mask too. Ta-da! Simulated live. I read a similar story about a student undergoing chemo who was told they had to have their camera on. They had also private messaged the professor to ask for a dispensation, explaining why. No response. Just a group message. Cameras on, or you'll be marked as failing. Okay. Then. Camera on. Cue shocked Pikachu face from the professor who had insisted on cameras being on. People are just, give them what they ask for. And give it to them good and hard. Simulated in-person meeting. I'm adding this to my buzzword bingo tile pool. I've had this request and my response is that I don't have the bandwidth as my wife is also working. And my kids are in online uni classes. Feel free to pay for my home internet and requisite upgrade if you want to stipulate how it is used. Though. You are a freedom fighter for introverts everywhere. If I was you and folks were privately messaging me, I'd respond out loud to them. I'd be like, thanks guy, but so and so said to keep the camera on. You mean boobs are for more than oogling? I'm confused and uncomfortable. Good. I sent a quick private message to explain I was paying attention. But pumping. No response to me. Just instead. Again. The expectation is that all cameras will be on. Sounds like that could also be an HR complaint too. Possibly even illegal in the US if your office is officially meeting the required private space that is required for pumping, since could be argued that forcing cameras on was thus a violation of that. Not sure how that would work out here. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the other folks at meeting made HR complaints against the lead. 2. Seems obvious who forced the issue. The meeting continued awkwardly, with several other team managers letting me know privately it was fine to turn my camera off. But at that point, there really was no point in turning it off. Lol, those managers gonna have to sleep in the bed they made. Good job standing your ground. Good for you. I was the same way by that point in motherhood. I have no modesty issues, and me seeking privacy to pump is because it makes other people uncomfortable. IDGAF if you want to hear and watch me pump. At least. In a non-pervy way. The camera is off, the door is closed for your delicate squeamish eyes. Don't like it? Okay. Wanna say something rude afterward? I'll happily take more paid time off with my baby on your dime after HR gets through with you. Thumbs up light skin tone. Wasn't that embarrassing to do? I have recently given birth, where I pissed, shit, and bled all over the world's most uncomfortable couch, while a strange man had his head between my calves for an hour, occasionally manipulating my privates. And 6 interns watched me tear from arsehole to breakfast. This was nothing.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. HappyGiraffe is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.